Hello and welcome to the Average Coder community. In this C# tutorial, we are going to talk about basic operators that you need to know to create simple programs. Alright, so as I said, in this C# tutorial, we are going to talk about basic operators that you're gonna need through all of your programmer journey. So as you may see, I written down all operators that we are going to talk in this C# lesson. So let's begin. Let's create an variable, so int or even 3 or 4 of them, so x, y, z, a, b, and c. Alright, so now we have quite a few of variables, and let's give them values. So let's say that x going to be equal to y going to be equal x, a going to be equal 5, z going to be equal, I don't know, 7 probably, b going to be equal 8. So let's just alright, so c is going to be equal x multiplied by 2. So as you already know, it's just multiplies numbers, so x multiplied by 2, and we going to put it between brackets. It works same as in math, so this thing going to be done first. Right, then plus a minus z multiplied by -1 and divided by b. So as you may see, the first thing that it's going to do, it's going multiply x and 2, so it is 4 in here. Then it's going to do this thing between these brackets, so a minus z or 5 minus 7 equals -2 multiplied by -1 equals 2, so we have 4 and 2. Then we go and divide it 2 by 8, and let me think it through. I guess it may even end up with mistakes. Console.write line C run. No, it's gonna work just fine. So it just going to say after dividing it that it will be that it's all is 0, because it will convert it to the int. So yeah, so we have here 4, and that's the reason why we have right over here 4 printed. If we delete this thing, that we're going to end up probably with 6, I guess. Yeah, we have 6, and it's telling us that C can be deleted b can be deleted of this situation, and yeah, let's run it again. So now we don't have warnings in our code. So as you may see, we can do basic math with these operators and this one. But the whole point of this tutorial is actually to talk about all of these operators. So let's talk about this one and this one. Increment and decrement. So few years ago, programmers noticed that they have to add one or take one from the number, and they are doing it quite often. So they decided to create increment and decrement to simplify this process, to make you write less characters in your code. So basically, if I write C++, it means that C equals C plus 1. So it is the same. So we had 6 in C start right now, and now we are adding 1 to the C, so we should end up with 7 in console. So as you may see, it is so. Decrement decreases the variable by 1, so minus minus, and it is the same as C equals C minus 1. So if we do it again, yeah, it's counts this thing, it's equals 6. Then it adds 1, and then it decreases it again. So to prove it, I even going to copy it and paste it over here. So we should have printed 6. Wait, I'm sorry. It has to print 7 and then 6, because it's increased by 1 and it's decreased by 1, the variable. So yeah, it's quite easy. Sometimes you may see that people are putting pluses here, not after C but before the C. It's actually the same, so if I run this code, we're still gonna end up with 7 and 6. And you can do the same with minus minus. So we can put minuses before the C. But let's increase it again. So as you may see, it's going to I'm sorry, I forgot about this chapter. As I said, it's going to cause mistakes, so it increases by 1 and it increases by 1 again in this place. So, right. Now let's talk about right, so this saves inside the variable data. As you may see right now, I think that I don't have to spend much time explaining it. And now let's move on to this operator. It's probably the most complicated out of all of them. So, as you remember, C equals C equals 8. So if we do see, let's just say that A equals C, this operator, and Z. So if we print A right over here, we're going to end up with 1. I'm sorry. Let's run again. We're going to end up with 1. Why it is so? As you know, C equals 8 after all of these operations, and Z equals 7. So it's divide the C. So 8 divide by 8 divide by 7, and it can be divided only once. And after dividing, we still have to divide 1 by 7, because 8 minus 7 equals 1, and it can be divided. It has to transform it into fraction to divide it. And if it can't divide without transforming it into fraction, it's going to put this value into the A. Right? I hope it makes sense. So let's try it again. So let's do A equals 10 by 2. So if we print A right now, it's going to be 0, because we can divide 10 by 2 without transforming it into fraction. So yeah, but if we put 3 right over here, it will divide only 9 by 3, and 1 still going to left. We have to divide 1 by 3 to transform it, and it will transform it into a fraction. So if we print A right now, we're going to have 1. I hope it makes sense. Right, now let's delete it. So let's talk about the rest of these operators. So this operator people really often confuse with this operator. This thing puts value inside the variable. This thing checks if variables are equal. So if we print x two equal characters, A, it's going to return false, because 2 doesn't equal 5. So if 2 of these variables aren't equal, it's going to return false. But if variables are equal, then it returns true. So if I put instead of A, y equals x, and it will compare them, and it's going to be true. It's going to be true. So just remember that this thing compares to variables when this thing puts the value inside of the variable. So if I take one character of it, it will print 2. So just pay attention to this thing, it's really important. Lots of people make mistakes with these operators, and we'll talk about a bit later again, probably even in the next video, I guess, or after the next video. This operators checks if they aren't equal. If they aren't equal, it will return true. But if they are equal, then it's going to return false. Like in this situation, x equal y, and that's the reason why it's returning false. If we put instead of xa and run it, it's going to end up with true. Now let's talk about higher and lower operators. So if a is higher than y, then it's going to return true. If a is less than y, then it's going to return false. So if we change a to 1 and do it again, it's going to be false. If we change this operator, now it's going to end up true, because this operator, if a is less than y, it returns true, and if a is higher than y, then it returns false. This one is higher or equal, and this one less or equal. So if I put right over here this thing and do it again, it's basically does same thing as this operators, but it checks if numbers are equal. If they are equal, it will return true too. So for example, if we compare x and y, it's going to return false. But if I put here equal and make less or equal, it's going to return true. I hope again it makes sense. Alright, I think that I told everything that you need to know about basic operators, and I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like it, then don't forget to subscribe and comment, ask your question in comment section. See ya!